ashes, death by steel. Viking warriors never yield. Mountains smoking far and wide. Our ships come sailing with the tide.
Ship swords, we raid the seas and take what's ours. Set your villages ablaze like dragons through the midnight haze, shredding kings from blood to bone. We'll take your lands to call our home. Stone God warriors, we raid the seas and take what's ours.
Taking the blade after it cooled down a little bit, and now I'm doing some really rough profiling with the file. Get that edge nice along the bottom, along the top, got a nice point. And I'm just filing down the bevels. You know, back in the day there were no fancy belt grinders and all that stuff we like to use now. So we're doing it old school, and it's got that look. I mean, I gotta say, that is a really cool look. I mean, I don't know if they had machine files either, but this is what I got. So I don't have a grinding stone. I wish I did. That would probably be very authentic, but I don't. So I guess this is the next best thing. And it's really similar. It doesn't spin in a circle, but it does what it does, you know. Get that down in there and get some of that cleaned up on the side. Oh look, I got an email. Yeah, gotta get that, getting it cleaned up along the bevel. There's still some hammer marks, you can see the hammer marks, but for the most part we're really getting a fairly even bevel on both sides. Oh no, you're good. Okay, here is the, yeah, we'll call that finished because it does look like it's got a really cool ancient patina finish. And we're going to put an antler handle on this tang. Hey, come back into focus. I didn't say you could leave. There we go. Sort of. Anyway, let's put it in here. And we're going to stoke this fire up again. And then we're going to quench. And that's the best part of the day. Okay. That, huh? That's a nice heat right there. We'll let that cool for just a few minutes. Do one normalizing cycle. Let those molecules all line up nice and pretty. Nice all this air. Cool it. One cycle, and now we are about to quench. Now we're doing a water quench because because we don't have oil. And that's okay. That's how they did it in the old days. Sometimes you'd have problems with that. I wouldn't say you wouldn't, but you could. But it's not going to flame up like we often see in some of the other shows. What do we got here? Yeah, look at that. All right. This is water right out of the lock. Okay. No popping, no pinging, none of that business. I think we got a win. And that's what normalizing helps with too. Would you look at that? The first stone guard blade forged in Scotland. And I did that. It's kind of cool. Tomorrow we're going to finish it up and we'll do the handle and clean up and sharpen it up, and then we'll try it out and see how we like it. But for now, let's just enjoy the moment. Now this is much like a forge, but it's a smelter. Isn't it? Is that what it is? A smelter?
No, it's furnace.
Oh, it's a foundry.
Foundry.
Foundry furnace. This is a foundry furnace. Forget a smelter is what you do to melt metal. I mean, we're kind of melting metal.
600 degrees.
Look at that. Look at that flame coming off of there, huh? We're going to melt some bronze and pour it into some molds that we made.
Is it on him?
Yep.
Yeah. So, it's probably getting better. You're looking across there. Okay. Wrong glasses. I've got swammy glasses there. Can't do anything with them on. It's all a blur. Right. You can stop now. Bit quicker, bit quicker. That's it.
Pretend you're a massive
Oh.
goose and you fucking piss at them. Because
This
you're
will look
bigger,
quick.
they'll hiss,
Yeah.
but they'll begin to back away.
Is this when you pull out the phaser?
No!
You're like, look at the goose, look at the goose.
Wow!
Over there. Right, let's get that down into the furnace. Right, so we got a bit too carried away there and poured all the metal out.
Yep.
So what we got now? Right, go a bit closer, that's it. Don't go too close. Right, now pour. That's it. Well done.
That's it?
That's in the water. Yeah, and then I'll start again tomorrow. How you doing, my love?
Flying through the castings? Everyone got the tools? So exciting.
All right, I think we got that. And now we go down and throw them in the water.
Yeah. Do you want to do both?
Yep.
Okay, open it up. That's it. Now tip it out.
Look at that.
The other side. Oh, that's good.
Oh, we got a good one there.
Yay! Oink, oink.
How'd your hog turn out? I like them.
You like them?
Cast in Scotland.
Very
Unlocked
cool.
Fuki. Look, it's like we found it in the water. It's just like, wow, look what I found.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
what do you think?
I love it. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. I'm glad I've got you through that.
Thank you so much. This
lovely.
was an adventure all by itself
Yes,
today.
it was.
Now we got some local deer antler here. My new friend has been very awesome about leaving me some pieces for making knife handles, so let's do it. No vise out here in the Iron Age now, so we got to do this old school. Okay, we've got the antler cut down. This is the one I'm making for Barry. It's got a nice little left-handed curve to it, because that's how she is. And it's a little smaller. Blade's also a little bit leaner, so it'll give it a good look. This is a big chunking piece. Maybe a little big, but it's alright. It's what there is, right? Use what you got. So I got to do a little file work on that, but I'll give it some interest and shape to it, so it'll be kind of cool. It's a rough piece, but that's how it was in the Iron Age. Rough was the name of the game. So we got 2 knife handles cut out of local Scottish deer antler, and 2 nice little blades fully forged right here in Scotland. So now I got to boil these antlers, get them all nice and hot, and then right up through there. See all that quick in the middle there? Once that's all soft from boiling, you just pound it down onto that tang, just like that, and then we'll have a knife. It'll look a bit like this. I'm going to do some file work first. Let's see what happens. Now when I'm cutting with the file, my cutting's going forward. I drag it back across, mostly so I can keep contact with the piece I'm working on, but I don't try to file backwards. Even though this one looks like the grain's both ways, it would do it. But that's just how I'm used to doing it. So I push when I'm going that way, just drag it back gently across from the back stroke. It ain't sandpaper, but it's kind of close. It works. That's what you got. And you just kind of go at it. I like to use the kind with the half round and the flat side, so that way I can switch back and forth into these parts where it arches inward. Go back to that round, and then you do the flatter edges with the flat side. Kind of makes sense, I suppose. If I ever make sense, I don't know. Alright, that's looking pretty good. A little cooler than it was before. A little yeah, okay. So, if you would, tapping me there. Tapping me there.
I know it looks that way, but no, I'm going to try and make a little fibre.
That's it right
Yeah,
there.
it doesn't like nice that you can't put away.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to try and do the same on this one. I've got some black. They've been in that. Well, as you know, they've been in that jar in your house.
I thought it was until the other day. You know, she's obviously kept it hidden.
Oh, it's all over everything.
I'm just like forever. I always look like that. I love it. It's like that. I just put stuff down and I just don't.
Yeah.
And I pick it back up. An archaeologist's dream.
You really are. The amount of fame that
To my lack of general awareness. You know, an ability to produce reports with
first and second stone guard blades made in Scotland. That is the left-hander. This one's for Barry, so just look at it like that. That's how it's done. Just hammered in the tang right into the antler handle. I'll let that set up overnight and it should be good to go by tomorrow. Works like glue. Now I gotta go dump out our water. Okay, I know what you were thinking, because I was thinking it too. That handle looked just a little disproportionate to the blade. And that's because it was. Yeah, both of them were a little bit. Well, you know, when you're out in the woods in Scotland, sitting by a loch with very little resources, you use what you have. And what I had was that piece of deer antler. It was gifted to me, so that was kind of nice. I was very thoughtful. So that's what I used. And it worked. You know, for the rest of the week I was using that knife. It has a great grip. There's a funny little blade sticking out into that big handle. So that was okay. I mean, as far as things working goes, that was a win. But, you know, I knew we could do better. And as luck would have it, the day after the camp, we went to this little town, little village even, in Scotland called Aberfeldy. And it was just a charming little place. They had a old historical center there that we wanted to go take a look at and get some lunch. Try and migrate ourselves back into the modern world a little bit. So we're at this historical center, and they happen to have a craft fair going on, which I thought was pretty darn cool, because we like crafts, and we do a lot of craft fairs. So we thought we'd check out and see what they got. And one of the tents there just blew my mind. There's a man there named Jimmy, and I thought that was pretty cool because we got the goat named Jimmy, and he thought that was pretty neat too. Well, he's this big Viking looking guy, right? He's got tattoos and he's dressed like a Viking, you know, and he was pretty cool. He was one of our kind of people. Big old Scotsman. And he had this booth. It was an old, well, not real old, I guess. It's probably a new version, but it was a tent, like one of those old Viking trading tents. And he had baskets of antler. Just literally, I walked up there and the first thing I saw were these big antler pieces, and I'm like, oh God, I can't get that in the luggage. And then as I looked closer, he had several other baskets, and they were all full of different size antler pieces. And it was just absolutely amazing. I was so happy with that, to find that kind of thing. So what I did was I bought several pieces of his antler. I bought some small pieces, and I bought some slightly larger pieces. And I brought them home because I wanted to use some genuine Scottish deer antler for some of the projects that I'm working on here in Stone Guard Forge. And also wanted to refit my blade and Barry's blade with something a little bit more size appropriate. And we did exactly that. Here, have a look. These are some of the samples of the antler that I picked up there in Aberfeldy at that really awesome craft festival that was going on. I sat down on the grass and I started picking through it, and I couldn't get a lot. I didn't have a lot of room left in my luggage, so I just needed to get what I could get. Now this one here, I'm going to make another one of these like that. This is Barry's little flip knife. That's pretty cool. I gotta loosen it up a little bit, but it's a nice little piece of antler horn, and she hammered the blade on that one. This one here I think would make a really great handle. I already kind of cut that part down and smoothed it out some. This is the piece that I'm going to use for her knife. I just haven't done it yet. I've cleaned up the end a little bit, but I gotta finish that up. Got some other nice little pieces right here. This is going to make some really cool handles too. And this is the part that's really cool, is like back in the old days, the old Viking traders, and you know, even in the old Iron Age and the Bronze Age, they were traders, and they would wander around and go to villages. You know, there was always some people out doing things like that. So I did something very much like that. I took what I already had. I wanted to improve upon it. So at the craft festival, I found some more Scottish native deer antler, and I traded money, of course, for the deer antler that I could replace my blade with. And that wasn't uncommon back in the day too. Even in modern days, if you're using an antler handle knife, a lot of times, you know, you'll use it to the point where the handle wears out it busts apart, something like that, you just shove another antler on there and you got a new handle and off you go. That was very common. That's normal. That's just normal wear and tear for a knife. And you know, mine was only on there for a week or so. But it's the same kind of idea. I'm just replacing the one handle with a better piece of deer antler, also sourced in Scotland and personally obtained by myself, picked out right there and brought home. And here is the blade. Now, if you ask me, that looks a lot better. That's what we were shooting for right there. That's a much nicer fit and finish. I made a little guard for it. That way your finger don't slip up on there. I'll be doing that to berries as well. I did heat it up. Stamped the raven skull on there. Definitely got to have the stone guard mark. I didn't bring that with me to Scotland, so I didn't do it there. Also, I was not super happy with the water quench because the water will boil around the steel. And depending on what kind of steel it is and how hard you're trying to get it, you know, that can affect it because the water boils, then you end up mostly with air bubbles going up the side, and it doesn't cool as quick as it will in oil. So I did requench it here in the Stone Guard forge, right over there. Boom! And then I stamped it, and then I tempered it again as well, so it's back to what it needed to be. But the shape has not changed. It's the same blade that I made in Scotland, using natural Scottish deer antler for the handle. And now it's just an amazing piece. That's my left hand here. Let me show you. Now Barry is left-handed, but I'm not, so I got to look at that. Fits great in the hand. I mean, any way you want to hold this thing, it feels good now. That's the look we were going for. That's what we needed. And I'm still using the same sheath. And now I wear that. That's become my new favorite knife. Anyway, now from back home in North Carolina at Stone Guard Forge, this is Craig saying see you next time. And don't forget, if you like these videos and you've been following me along, make sure and hit that subscribe button and like my videos. That helps me a lot. I'm trying to get to 1,000. So if we can break 1,000 sometime here in the next month or two, well, it's a milestone. Let's just do it. Anyway, enjoy. Take a look at that. Yeah, that's the boar that I cast that we saw in the lake, out by the lake. Barry just got through finishing the beadwork on it. That looks pretty